Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here in New York, and I'm really excited to be speaking here today. My name is Natalie Ujuk, and I'm the Observability Technical Lead at IG Group. A little about me, I'm originally from Sydney, Australia, but I currently live in London, and I have been for some time now. I have over 20 years experience working in the monitoring space in a number of different industries, from telecommunications to logistics to finance, just to name a few. I love to travel, and I've been fortunate enough to work in a number of cities in Australia, around the UK, and around Europe. I'm excited to share IG's observability journey with you and how we have embraced an observability by default culture with Grafana Cloud. Now, to tell you a little bit about IG, I have a video for you. Spoiler alert, IG doesn't stand for Instagram.
Trading. Your mind can work against you. Succumb to pressure. Create chaos. Or stay calm in the eye of the storm. If you're committed to developing your trader mindset, we're committed to helping you get there. IG, where traders are made.
IG Group is a leading provider of online trading and investment services. With its headquarters in London and 18 offices around the world, IG Group operates a number of brands worldwide. One of IG's most recent acquisitions was tastytrade here in the US in 2021. tastytrade specializes in options and futures trading. IG's goal is to become the home of active traders by putting clients at the heart of our business. Technology is key and is our differentiator that sets IG apart in the market. We have over 850 engineers worldwide, located in our tech hubs in London, Bangalore, Krakow, and Chicago. Today, I'll be walking you through why we have built an observability platform, what it entails, and how we are making it part of a default engineering culture. I'll start with the reasons behind this initiative, exploring the challenges we faced and the goals we set out to achieve. Then I'll dive into the specifics of what we've built, from our use of OpenTelemetry to our unified view in Grafana Cloud. Finally, I'll explain how we've implemented it in a way that reduces complexity for developers and enhances the developer experience. I'll get straight into the why. At IG, we began our observability journey 3 years ago to address some significant challenges. At the time, we had faced issues with both missing and duplicate data sets, making it difficult to answer key technical questions and business questions. Our focus was heavily internal, rather than being aligned with what truly mattered to our customer experience. Data about our applications was siloed with domain-specific tools, accessible only through subject matter experts, adding layers of complexity, delays, and even bias. This resulted in a cycle of merely addressing symptoms without reducing the toil or directly improving the customer experience. To break this cycle, we set out to build an observability platform capable of correlating all our data into a single source of truth, a platform that would reflect the health of our services as perceived by our customers, understandable to anyone across the organization. In building our platform, we considered the following design principles. Standards were a top priority, and we wanted to define them early on. This would ensure we would correlate between data sources. The standards would extend beyond tags and would apply to data values, collection patterns, and also visualization. The tooling selection would be as vendor agnostic as possible, allowing us flexibility in changing tool direction down the road without the headache of mass migration projects. We also wanted the principle of everything as code. This was to overcome past challenges where configuration relied on a central team to make changes through a UI. By shifting to code-driven automation, we ensure a consistent, reliant, and scalable platform while significantly reducing dependency bottlenecks. Our platform is built around 3 key goals: customer centricity, data democratization, and providing a unified view. The platform would put a spotlight on our customers and connect engineering effort with real user experience. Second, all data would be democratized, ensuring that its data is accessible to everyone and breaking down the silos. And we would provide a unified view that would allow everyone to be on the same page. To bring all of this together, we built a centralized observability engineering team. The responsibilities of this team were to define best practices for observability across the organization and to build a platform with the design principles and goals in mind. There was one final thing that set the direction of our platform. All applications will be observable by default. Our architect, James, not pictured here, boldly declared this vision one day, and it pretty much set the tone for everything that followed. In a perfect world, one with a simplified technology stack, making all applications observable by default would be an easy ask. But at IG, we were dealing with a complex tech stack. The underlying infrastructure is a mix of on-prem and cloud. There's a myriad of languages and libraries and technologies, plus legacy code, legacy systems, and the deeply ingrained habits that come with them. There was also people that were resistant to change, having seen past attempts to change the way we work fail. We had to overcome skepticism, technical debt, cultural inertia to make this vision a reality. I'll now dive into the platform we built and the tooling we chose. OpenTelemetry is at the core of our platform, enabling us to be as vendor agnostic while implementing standard collection patterns. We've been closely following OpenTelemetry's development over the past few years, and we now have adopted all telemetry signals as they have matured. We've also adopted the semantic conventions as our default standard. We originally introduced IG-specific tags to align with our CMDB, but we have since dropped those IG tags in favor of OpenTelemetry conventions. Grafana Cloud plays a central role in our platform, and I'm pleased to say that we've built a strong partnership with Grafana over the years. We utilize Tempo as our traces store and Mimir for our metrics. In our platform's early stages, we initially used Influx, but we have since transitioned to Mimir for better performance and scalability. Grafana Cloud also allows us to build our first pane of glass and create a set of standardized dashboards that are accessible to everyone at IG. Additionally, we use several enterprise plugins to connect with our existing tools, further enhancing our ability to correlate data. We do use Splunk as our logging workflow, as it's been in IG for around 10 years and is well established. Maybe one day we'll make the shift to Loki. We also integrate PagerDuty and ServiceNow for incident and alert notification. Our architecture. Initially, we focused building the platform to support applications hosted on-prem, as majority of applications are based there. OpenTelemetry collectors are configured with default pipelines, allowing applications to send to local host. A metrics and traces receiver is enabled by default, and all data is exported to Kafka. We manage OpenTelemetry gateways that receive from Kafka and center-relevant data stores. In the gateways, we're able to validate, gate, and transform the data before it's exported. The gateways also perform sampling decisions on the tracing pipeline. We continue to use the Splunk forwarder on the logging flow as it's already established. However, there's potential for us to collapse that collective footprint in the future and change our direction for tooling for logs. The architecture has now expanded to support new initiatives, such as our Nomad container platform and the adoption of cloud. The OpenTelemetry collector pattern was replicated for these environments. Observability by default was easiest to achieve in Nomad platform. This was because it was incorporated from the very beginning as a default standard. For AWS, since there are many AWS services, we continue to build out new patterns to support them. The challenge with cloud comes as we need to route the data through our gateways, which sit on-prem. We had considered running our separate gateways in the cloud, but we were required to route all the traces through the central gateway for sampling decisions. However, down the line, we may opt to shift them to cloud, and if we do that, we'll be able to do it seamlessly without impact or concern to application side. Our unified view provides a comprehensive, at-a-glance insight into service health for any service or application sending telemetry. We ensure consistency and ease of understanding by creating dashboards per application or technology type, like HTTP or JVM. What's powerful is that these views are dynamically generated for any service using standard tags, meaning engineers can easily see their data as soon as they instrument their applications. That is, providing they're using the mandatory tags. We've also incorporated user-centric service-level objectives, ensuring that measuring user experience and correlating it along with service health. We align closely with Grafana's Big Tent ethos, which provides the flexibility to choose the right tooling while maintaining a unified view. Our goal is to minimize tool sprawl at IG, but we also recognize that in certain cases, domain-specific tools are necessary, whether it's for its specialized capabilities, greater value, or cost effectiveness. For example, Logic Monitor is essential for our network engineers. We integrate its data feed into our unified view, allowing all engineering teams to easily view network health. Additionally, we integrate key engineering tools like GitLab, ServiceNow, and PagerDuty to provide enriched context around service health. This allows us to correlate incidents with specific code commits, giving teams real-time insights into exactly when and where changes occurred, making root cause analysis faster and more precise. So in summary, some of the defaults that we have included are OpenTelemetry collectors available on all our VMs and container platform with default signal pipelines. We've ensured that the collector configurations remain as default as possible, allowing us to manage complexity centrally in our gateways. This setup significantly simplifies the developer experience by reducing concerns. For developers, the main requirement is to instrument their application with OpenTelemetry. Majority of our applications are Java, so for them, it's a process of simply attaching the OpenTelemetry Java agent to the Java process. To utilize the unified view, we require engineers to include mandatory tags such as service.name and service.namespace. The value of these tags align with a golden source, our CMDB, which ensures that we're correlating only a single instance of each service, maintaining accuracy and consistency in our view. Lastly, our unified view comprises over 30 dashboards to cover a wide range of technologies. So they say, if you build it, they will come. But will they? We used a critical business flow as an exemplar during the first iteration of our platform. We used this as a showcase to drive adoption. Even at the time, we had challenges with securing developer time to instrument the full flow. This was due to different engineering teams contributing to that single user journey. Adoption of the platform was slow and steady. Admittedly, our first onboarding guide had around 30 steps, but we have since reduced this by limiting the concerns of the developers and providing self-service capabilities. We were able to reduce this to just 3. Send it. Developers will instrument their applications with OpenTelemetry using auto-instrumentation, SDKs, or APIs. Observe it. Utilize the dashboards in the unified view. And third, alert on it. Implement an alert on SLOs for their application. Even though we had simplified the onboarding guide, adoption was slow. And we were under pressure by management to increase our adoption stats. And that's when management issued a mandate to all development teams. You must onboard to the observability platform. It was established as a minimum criteria for release maturity. Following this mandate, we did observe a rise in adoption stats. That is, the number of applications emitting the 3 signals and measuring SLOs were on the rise. However, we began to question whether the unified view was being used and if teams truly understood SLOs, or if they were simply just copying another team's SLO configuration. While numbers indicated increased activity, we wanted to ensure that teams were genuinely engaging with the platform rather than just fulfilling a compliance requirement. It became clear that this was leading to superficial compliance. There was lack of deep engagement with the platform, which undermined a culture of ownership among the teams. Instead of fully embracing the platform and understanding the tools and practices, developers were merely ticking boxes. There was a missed opportunity for teams to learn about their applications while gaining new skills. On a positive note, the rise in adoption allowed us to have more data on the platform, which was great for us because we were able to further validate and improve it. However, the lack of engagement from the developers limited the quality of feedback that we received, preventing us from delivering what was important to them. While adoption numbers look great on a dashboard, they didn't reflect a healthy observability culture. We needed to shift our focus from mere compliance to fostering a deeper understanding and ownership of tools and practices we have in place. So how did we make that shift for engineers to embrace observability? We fostered a learning and feedback culture by showcasing our platform in a variety of ways, from informal demos to individuals and to teams, all the way to larger tech talk-style roadshows that were company-wide. What's really exciting is how we saw a shift over time. Initially, the observability team led the demos. However, as we progressed, developers began to showcase the platform's value to their peers. This peer-led approach not only highlighted real-world examples, but also created a sense of ownership and community among our devs. We also established a central place for feedback, ensuring transparency around how set suggestions were being implemented. This mechanism allowed everyone to feel heard and valued and created a continuous loop of improvement. Next, cross-team collaboration. Learning is truly a two-way street. We wanted our users to learn about the platform and how to interact with our application's telemetry, but we also wanted to understand the developers' ways of working and the challenges they faced. To facilitate this, we actively collaborated with multiple teams while working on new capabilities. And this accelerated the capabilities that we were able to provide. Gaining leadership support is important to understanding the why it's important for observability, for leadership. And it's also important that we embed that into engineering best practices. And I'll talk a bit more about that in the next few slides. At an observability roadshow that we held internally, our CTO, Adam Wheelwright, shared why observability is important for IG. He said, "The reason that this matters is because it will drive commercial value, and that's why I'm passionate about it." He also said, "I'm not looking to pay more money to Grafana or any other partners. That might be an inevitability, but that's not the primary reason for doing this. It's not so that Natalie can write she's got a platform observability on her CV. That will be great, but that's not the primary reason for doing this. the primary reason is because of the commercial outcomes and why I think it's so important that we do lean into this and why we have built this into our engineering best practices. As engineers, we do more than write lines of code. We design, we build, we manage our applications. In the same way that observability is more than just signals. It is a single source of truth connecting code deploys to user experience. When incorporated into engineering best practices, it empowers high-performing teams and allows them to ship quality code to production fast. Fast feedback loops are essential in ensuring this is done safely. This, in turn, ensures that IG has high-performing and reliable technology that outperforms our competitors, and ultimately resulting in customer satisfaction. Let's take a moment to reflect back to the video I played at the start. Just like IG is committed to helping our customers, who are the traders, develop their trading mindset and stay calm in the eye of the storm by reducing chaos and pressure, developing an observability mindset is key for our engineers so they too remain calm and perform at their best. Engineer happiness equals trader happiness. 3 years on, our platform is now well established with OpenTelemetry and Grafana Cloud as its foundations. It is a platform built by engineers for engineers, and we continue to ensure that everyone has access to this single source of truth that connects us to our customers' experience. There's so much more we'd like to explore. While OpenTelemetry auto instrumentation is a great starting point, we see significant opportunities to enhance our data with additional application and business logic. Our goal is to get even closer to understanding the user experience. Recently, we collaborated with our front-end engineers to explore Grafana Faro capabilities, and we are currently in the process of productionizing this capability. We also want to ensure that all critical customer journeys are traced end-to-end and are measured by service-level objectives. We plan to build out further cloud patterns to support various AWS services as more applications either shift to cloud or are built cloud first. Finally, we aim to implement dashboards as code capability and encourage the engineering community to contribute to the unified view. Thank you all for listening. If you would like to connect, my LinkedIn QR code is on the screen. I look forward to connecting with you all and continuing this conversation. Thank you.